Senior reporter Seth Olale, who's been following the day one proceedings of the BBI Appeal case being presided over by a 7-judge bench. Seth, what other submissions have been made and has the AG presented in his quest to quash the High Court ruling?
Well, good afternoon, Olive Barrows. The AG also told the 7-judge bench of the Court of Appeal, being chaired by the President of the Court of Appeal, that is Justice Daniel Musinga, that the High Court basically changed the Constitution in giving that particular ruling that actually quashed the BBI report. And so he's seeking this appellate court to overturn the High Court's decision, terming it a breach of the will of the sovereignty of this particular republic. And in regards to that particular remark, actually terming the High Court's decision as a personalized issue against the head of state. Let me just read this particular quote because I have the statement with me here. The judges of the High Court did this through personal attacks against His Excellency the President, and that climaxed in factual and legal unfounded conclusions. And an example of this being the unprecedented finding that a president can be sued in a personal capacity for official acts. This is just one of the issues. Remember that the AG, through the Solicitor General, that is Kennedy Ogeto, did mention they have up to 31 grounds that they seek to have this particular court actually overturn the High Court ruling. Another issue, they mentioned Chapter 16 of the Constitution, and in this they said that the chapter confirms that all provision of the Constitution are amendable, and so there is no basis that the High Court actually gave this particular stand that the Constitution cannot be amended through the BBI, and they quoted Chapter 16 of the Constitution that actually, according to the argument, is that all the provisions of the Constitution are amendable. And so what we know is that after the AG stand, we'll have the BBI Secretariat together with the leader of ODM, Raila Odinga, of course, all this through their council. They will be taking the stand next in regards to submitting or just issuing the submissions and presentations in regard as to why they want the High Court decision overturned by this appellate court. But there was also another initial development, Olive. Remember that the court actually allowed IEBC to actually submit a new evidence, and this is in regards to the voter registration. Remember that one of the grounds that those who are opposing the BBI actually stated that, you know what, there has not been any voter registration exercise since 2017, and so the IEBC cannot be mandated to carry out an referendum or any other general election because it is not capacitated. But IEBC has actually given that evidence to the 7-judge bench, stating that actually voter registration has been ongoing from a constituency point of view, and what is remaining is the mass voter registration that they say will start next month. And so these are some of the developments from the Court of Appeal. Remember, it is just day one of these particular hearings. We have 3 more days to go before the landmark ruling by the Court of Appeal that will decide the fate of the BBI. Back to you, Olive.
Thank you, Seth. And Seth will stay on that story for the next, as he said, 3 days that the Court of Appeal is going to be holding hearings on those petitions against the High Court judgment that the BBI process was illegal and that stopped a referendum.